Rome, an empire built on steel and willpower. They conquered the world, leaving an eternal mark. The Roman legions, symbols of strength and discipline. But what happens when an army this mighty disappears? I've always been drawn to the whispers of history, the untold stories, the buried secrets. And one question has always haunted me. What happened to the legions that never returned? Were the legends merely echoes? Or is there something deeper? I searched, day after day, across forgotten lands, until my device vibrated. A signal. Beneath the ground, something massive, an artificial structure, unknown until now. My heart pounded. Right under my feet, a 1,000-year secret was waiting. I knew I had to go deeper, alone, to uncover the truth. I knew I had to go deeper, alone, to uncover the truth. And then the match. My scan data aligned perfectly with a forgotten detail on an ancient map. I had found it. I spent years studying, trying to understand the Roman soldiers, the warriors who shaped the world. Steel discipline, perfect equipment. Each legion was an unstoppable war machine. They spanned the empire, from deserts to frozen forests. But sometimes, they vanished. Disasters like the Teutoburg forest, but never a mass tomb this large. This was a story erased. This area was once a frontier outpost, a perfect place for a forgotten tragedy. I began excavating, carefully, little by little, and then a shard of pottery. A Roman coin, ancient, unmistakable. I was in the right place. Hard work, layer after layer of earth removed. I worked non-stop, alone under the burning sun.
This layer here,
and then a change. Natural soil gave way to an artificial structure. A massive stone wall, ancient, solid.
I'm beginning to comprehend the sheer magnitude of this structure.
I widened the excavation pit. Walls emerged, forming a complex network. My 3D map lit up. A main corridor, clear entrance. It was right here. I focused on that point, clearing stones, scraping old mortar. The anticipation grew. And then it appeared. A giant stone door, sealed shut, untouched for thousands of years. Faint carvings, ancient symbols. This wasn't just a tomb, it was a statement. I prepared my tools. Chisels, hammers, cutters. This was going to be a battle. Each hammer strike echoed through the silence. Dust billowed. The ancient mortar was hard as stone. My strength faded, but my determination did not. I had to break through. Then a crack, a small fracture, a gust of ancient, heavy air escaped. I looked inside, absolute darkness, a damp, rotten smell, and a terrifying silence. Air quality check, safe. I took a deep breath and stepped in. Darkness swallowed me. My flashlight was the only hope. The air was dense, cold. A narrow corridor seemingly endless. Red stone walls covered in moss. My footsteps echoed alone.
I feel the profound antiquity of this place,
the rough tool marks
untouched
of
for
ancient Roman
millennia,
hands.
under my fingertips.
The corridor widened, a larger chamber. A heavy feeling hung in the air. Dust, a thick layer untouched for millennia. My footprints were the first. My light scanned empty walls. Nothing, only silence, and a strange feeling. Then something, a corroded piece of metal, part of Roman armor. My flashlight struggled against the dark. A shape, a vast structure emerged. And then I saw them, hundreds, maybe thousands, bones, the bones of Roman soldiers. A staggering sight, rows of skeletons, some still wearing armor, weapons at their sides. A fallen army. I focused on one soldier, decayed armor, a rusted sword, his skull tilted upward as if staring at fate. Armor, weapons, every fragment told a story of grandeur and the brutality of war. A skull, a clear fracture, killing blow. They died in battle. Not just one, many, the same kind of wound. This wasn't a skirmish, it was a massacre. The way they lay, not random. There was an eerie order, a final stand, or a rushed burial. A small ring, a charm, personal belongings. Each soldier had a life of his own. The scale of the tragedy, an ocean of bones stretching into the darkness, a lost legion. Bodies piled on bodies, a desperate struggle, the chaos of death. Then my light hit a different area, a raised platform, place of importance. The command platform. Here lay soldiers of higher rank. One skeleton, his armor more elaborate, and beside his hand, the Aquila, the legion's sacred eagle. It had fallen. Beneath the Aquila, something else, a small lead box sealed. My hands trembled as I opened it. This could be the answer. Inside, an ancient parchment, fragile, like a whisper from the past. I carefully unrolled it, bit by bit. Every tiny crack was a heartbeat of history. And then I read it, ancient Latin, a final message. Betrayed, trapped, no escape for Rome. The truth struck hard. Rage, sorrow. This entire legion was betrayed. The Aquila, now more than a symbol. It was a vow, a promise their story would not be forgotten. I began analyzing every piece of evidence, every grain of dust. Pollen analysis, carbon dating, everything aligned with a tragic event in the 1st century AD. Bone fragments, fractures, signs of brutal combat, no disease. All the puzzle pieces now fit. The truth was clear and heartbreaking. I looked at the skeletons. Now I understood. I understood their pain, their despair. Bodies intertwined, a final struggle for survival, a heroic death. The entrance. Now I understood why they were trapped. There was no way out. The general, he stayed with his men and wrote the final message. The parchment revealed everything, the traitor's name, the place, the date, a hidden chapter of history uncovered. The whole story, the sacrifice, the betrayal. Now I was the only one who carried the truth. I looked at the parchment, then at the soldiers.
These aren't just bones.
Their story had been erased.
They are the stories
but no
etched
more.
in this scroll.
I documented everything, every detail, every word, so they would never be forgotten again. I set up the 3D scanners, every bone, every artifact, preserved forever. Laser beams swept through the darkness, capturing a digital replica of this tragedy. The Aquila, I left, but my promise remained. My footsteps echoed as I exited the tomb, leaving them in peace, but carrying their story. Like sunlight, I returned to the world with a new burden. I stood there exhausted but victorious. I had found them. I looked back at the entrance, now carefully sealed. Their secret remained safe with me. And I walked away, carrying a story the world needed to hear. Now I sit here, surrounded by my research, ready to tell the story. The parchment, undeniable evidence, a voice from 1,000 years ago. The 3D model, every detail preserved for future generations.
Skeletal remains.
I speak with passion, with truth.
This discovery fundamentally changes everything we thought we knew about the Roman Republic. The implications for our understanding of their culture are profound.
Their final route, a red X, the place they fell, the place they were betrayed. Betrayal, a heavy word.
This
stain
wasn't
on
merely
Roman
a retreat.
history.
It was a calculated betrayal, an ancient injustice that echoes through the centuries.
The mastermind, a name, a face, history will not forget. This discovery changes how we see an era, a hidden
This
conspiracy
discovery
revealed.
fundamentally alters our perception of the late Roman Republic.
This is where the timeline fundamentally
A
changes.
forgotten event
The
restored
Legion's
to its
demise
place.
here shifts the context for the subsequent barbarian incursions.
It is
I
my
gave them a
profound
voice to
honor to
those who
finally
fell,
tell
so
the
they will
story
never
of this
be
lost
forgotten.
legion. We must ensure their sacrifice is remembered.
I see them, the ghosts of the Legion, now no longer a mystery. A soldier's face, resolute, defiant. He looks at me as if in gratitude. Rome, their legacy lives on. These soldiers are part of it. Why do we search
Unearthing
the past?
these forgotten
To
histories
understand
forces
the
us to
present,
ask,
to
why
learn.
do they matter now? It's a
I
profound
recall the
transformation.
first moment when I
and the
stood
long,
on this land.
solitary path
come a
I
long
have
way.
traveled since that initial spark of discovery.
The Aquila, now it shines. The Legion spirit has been set free. The parchment, carefully preserved, priceless treasure, proof of truth.
History is not merely
History
a
is
collection
not
of
old
facts,
stories.
but a guide
It
for
is
the future.
lessons for the
a call
future.
to remember and learn from the sacrifices of those who came before.
From ancient battlefields to modern museums, history's journey never ends.
The past holds the
I
key
found
to
the
our
lost
future.
Legion.
It
I
is our
told their
duty to
story,
remember,
and they will
to
never
ensure
be
the
forgotten.
lost are never truly forgotten.
The tomb now illuminated, a monument to the fallen. The general and the Aquila resting in honor. A photograph, proof of my solitary journey.
This journey into the past,
This
seeing the
discovery
tragic
changed
history,
me
it's changed
forever.
me profoundly. It reshaped how I understand history and our shared humanity.
The 3D view
The
of the
museum,
catacombs is
their story
amazing.
now displayed.
You can see the exact spot where the discovery was made.
The parchment, their final message. For Rome we died. Remember us.
It is for
A
future
child,
generations
the next
to learn
generation
from the
learning their
past,
story.
carrying forward the enduring legacy of the lost legion.
A field now green, yet the story still lingers. A wildflower rising from the soil, a symbol of life and remembrance. History is a reminder. We must never forget.
Roma Invicta!
Imagine standing guard with this shield.
They must have been incredibly disciplined.